right. Good afternoon, people. Good evening, people. Wherever you are hearing me from, please let me know if you can hear my voice. Let me know if you can hear my voice. Let me know if you can see my screen also. Uh, if you can hear my voice and you can see me, please let me know in the comments. Where is everyone? If you can hear my voice, if you can see me, let me know in the comment. This is Deep Dive 2.0, and we are about to get started. It's going to be explosive today. But I need to know if you can hear me. I need to know if you can see me so that I don't end up running a full screen or a full session all alone, only to discover at the end that I was just talking to myself or vibing with myself. Okay. So let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. All right. And loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We weren't able to do this last week, and I promised us we are going to do it this week. Trust me, I almost cancelled this today, but thank God we are having it right now. We're having it right now. So I want you to do something for me. The next 30 seconds to 60 seconds, I want you to share the link that brought you in here, and let's get more people here. It's going to be a very fruitful conversation today. There are some things that even even me wanting to talk about these things, it tears my heart a little bit. But then these things have to be talked about. These are truths that people need to know. These are realities that we have to embrace ourselves. So it's not something that I feel very comfortable, right, talking about, but nonetheless, we have to talk about it. Okay. So the same link that brought you in here, the next 30 seconds to 60 seconds, go ahead and share the link. Go ahead and share the link that brought you in here. Let's get more people to be a part of what we are doing today. It's going to be very explosive and very interactive today. So go ahead and share the link and encourage 1, 2, 3, your boyfriend, your husband, your concubine, your yard people, your church people, your neighbors, your ex, those people that served you breakfast. Invite all of them and let's have an explosive time. Yeah, so I'm going to turn on the countdown for another 60 seconds. Then once we get back, we are going to go into it. We're going to launch into the deep. Okay? So go ahead and share that same link and let's have more people on board. All right. All right, and we are back. So right about now, let's go right into it while we wait for many other persons to join us. Just kindly bear with me. This is the first time I'm seriously using this platform, so there might be a little glitch here and there. I'm trying everything I can do to get it right um, on the first trial. So bear with me. I beg you, bear with me. And secondly, I'm not sure this is being recorded. I'm trying to find my way around how to get it to record. Trying to find out how to get it to record. I don't know yet. Okay. So so that means that we might have a recording for this, and we might not have a recording for this. Also, bear with me on that. So I want to plead with every one of us on this session today to kindly don't expect a record. If there's a record, if we have a record, that's fine. If we don't, then you might have to make do with your notes. Okay. So are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Let me know in the comments if you're ready for today's conversation. Let me know if you are ready for today's conversation. Well, okay. So once again, good evening, everyone. Mama, good evening. Oh my goodness, Mama, good evening. Thank you so much for coming on board. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, so let's go right into it. I'm going to start from something I shared. I think on Saturday, that was yesterday or Friday. I shared something on Friday with the communities that I belong to. And that is how we are going to start off the conversation today. So, in that write up, I said there are some information that should not go out to the crowd. Now, one of the mistakes that many people make, and you are probably also making that mistake, is this: when it comes to value, we justify value by the integrity of the speaker. When I say integrity, I mean track record. Now we justify value by the track record of the person. Is a person a popular face? Is a person someone that we know, right? But one thing we are missing out is that the more access value has, the lesser the ability of that value to be able to change lives. Let me take it again. The more people have access to that value, the lesser the authenticity of that value, the lesser the authenticity of that information. If what you have, or if the person you are listening to or you are taking counsel from is someone everybody has access to, maybe a public figure, I can bet you that what you are getting is a watered down information. And I will explain. I can bet you that what you are getting is a watered down information. Why? Because there is a pyramid of life that ensures that only a little number of people have access to some level of information. There are some things that the crowd should not be aware of. That is why you see that no matter how popular or how influential, or the sincerity of a speaker, of a trainer, or of a coach, they still have something called inner circle, because there are some information they cannot give to the public. It is not because they want to charge hundreds of dollars to give that details out. It's not because they are suffering from any kind of financial difficulty that makes them to charge that kind of money. A news broke out on the media, I think around March or April. I don't want to call names, but there's a popular speaker that charged so high He created a course and he charged so high for it, and people were complaining. You need to understand that apart from the fact that that money, the costs that they placed on that class or on that material is for him to filter serious people from unserious people. That cost is also to help maintain the balance of the pyramid of life. Because there's a level of information that everybody cannot have. There are some kind of things that everybody should not know about. There are informations that are peculiar to only the elite. Only the elite. So only very few people will come out to say these things. And let me tell you this now. The smaller the circle of a conversation, the more authentic that conversation is. Let me do that again. The smaller the circle of a conversation, the more authentic that conversation is. The moment this platform begins to grow into hundreds of numbers, there are certain conversations I cannot come out to have again. Yeah. There are certain things I cannot come out to share again. So while it is still very little, while we are still trying to gather momentum, while we are still in a beginning era, this is the time for you to get quality value. This is time for you to get truths that are unfiltered. This is time for you to get truths that you will not hear. You can't Google it. These are truths that you will not hear on the streets. All right. So I hope that is clear. So that is why this session is very, very important. And that's also one of the major reasons why deep dive is very important now. Okay. Couple of months, years over time from now, the quality of the conversation may begin to drop. It may begin to go less filtered. All right. But now is the time for you to get to hear these things without adding any form of emotions, without filtering out the truths, without being angry, or without being concerned about who is going to get annoyed, who is going to get angry, and all of that. These are some things that you are not going to hear in any other places. And that is why the larger this platform begins to grow, the less I am broadcasting this information out. Okay, but we're going to get to a particular number, and I won't be able to do things like this anymore. But I'm going to bring them into an inner circle, and that is why I'm using this session of deep dive to make the announcement for the inner circle. So we're going to be having an inner circle group. Once I launch that out, many of us are going to be we're going to get the link. So once you get the link, I encourage you to join now that you can still join, because at a time or at a level, some conversation, some deep conversation will only be within that inner circle. It is not everything that one can come out to come and share on a YouTube live stream, okay, because of the system of the world. So that is one. Then I also said that there are two different places that quality value lies. There are two different places that quality value, that rare gem lies. Okay, and the first one I said is one of them is in plain sight. So what can set you free, what is truth, okay, can be lying in a place so openly and so visible that you don't even consider it to be a truth. It's like salvation. It's like salvation. Salvation is so free that many people don't even believe that it's true. Salvation is so free, many people don't accept that that can be the plan of God. Many people don't believe that Christ is the plan of God, to the redemptive plan of God. Why? Because it's not coming with any form of complexities, because it's not coming with any form of structure, any form of you have to do this drama, you have to do this to get that, you have to do this, and all of those things that naturally as humans we expect to see, because our mind, especially as Africans, has programmed us in such a way that for us to consider something as true and as the truth, it has to come with a lot of drama. Are we here? For us to consider something as the truth, for us to consider something that something has the ability to change our lives, it has to come with a lot of drama. Let me be sure I'm not talking to myself. If you can still hear me, let me know in the comments. It has to come with a lot of drama. It has to come with a lot of shaking your body, a lot of running up and down, a lot of movement that are not really necessary most of the times. But because if it is not dramatic, it is not believable. Our mind has been constructed in such a way that if it is not dramatic, it's not believable. If it doesn't come with so much pressure, it's not believable. If it doesn't come with so much of drama, so much of unnecessary display, we feel it is too simple. How can something that can change my life be this simple? How can something that can change my life be this simple? If you are still with me, please let me know in the comments. My eyes are on the comment section. I want to be sure I'm not doing this alone, right? So sometimes we lose the value that we are supposed to get. Sometimes we reduce the ability of the information that can change our life, the potency of the information that can turn things around for us, to the display of drama. We reduce the authenticity and the integrity of the information that can change our life to what? To drama. We reduce it to what is happening. If it is not creating a lot of drama, a lot of scenarios, a lot of scenes here and there, we don't believe it's true. And we get these concepts. Most of these concepts are actually products of Nollywood. No offense to Nollywood right now. You see, this these are some of the conversations that I don't like to have, right? No offense to Nollywood, but we get a number of these things from Nollywood, from the things that we have seen. So naturally, even when it is not dramatic, even when the display doesn't to come with a lot of scenarios and a lot of movements, automatically our mind has convinced us to add drama to it, because if we don't add drama to it, people will not believe. Church people will understand what I'm saying better. Church people understand what I'm saying better. If it doesn't come with drama, we are forced to add drama to it. Why? Because we are trying to gain the conviction. We are trying to convince the audience. So it's just like, instead of all of these things I'm saying, if I don't add so much grammar to what I'm saying, I'm opening encyclopedia, I'm opening dictionary, I'm using the best choice of grammars, some persons will not believe that these things are actually the truth. Why? Drama. So you need to start to check the construct of your mind. You need to start to check the things you have believed. God bless you is not authentic enough. God bless you is too simple. It's too simple. How will you just say God bless you? You have to speak in tongues. You have to pray in the Holy Ghost for about 20 minutes. You have to pour water. You have to add anointing oil. You have to add all manner of things. Why? It is not, and there's nothing wrong with all of these things. There's nothing wrong with the addition of all of these things. Okay. So you need to, if you are listening to what I'm saying, then you have to listen to it from the context of what I'm discussing. Don't just take half truths and run. All right. So these things, when we don't get all of these additions and you just make the pronunciation, you have not prayed. People believe you have not prayed. How will you just say, just like that, pray for me, and that's all you did? You didn't ask me to jump, you didn't ask me to clap, you didn't ask me to run 7 times, to shout the name of Jesus 7 times. And if that is how God is leading you, there is nothing wrong with it. My challenge and what I'm trying to communicate to you is, if that drama is not necessary in the actualization of the value you are trying to communicate, erase the drama. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. All right. So I'm trying to open us up to the construct of our mind. I've not even gone into today's conversation at all. I'm just still giving still giving a preamble. Okay. So the truth that we are looking for can be lying in plain sight. It can be right there before you, staring at you right at the face. But because it does not come with drama, but because it did not come as you expected it to come, because it did not come with ambulance and siren and many things accompanying it, it's not true. It can't change your life. Why? Because it didn't accompany drama. Okay, so we need to start to change our reasoning. We need to start to change the way we see things, the way we see life, the way we see value, the way we see truth. Do you know the funniest thing? It can be so dramatic and it's not true. It can be so dramatic and it's not adding anything to your life. It can be so dramatic and it is not even moving the needle eye. It's not improving your life. It's not improving your challenges. It's not making you a better person. Yet it is dramatic. Yet it came with all of the things you expected to come with. It came with thunder, came with lightning, came with brimstone, volcano. The earth is shaking. But it's not true. And that is why sometimes when God gives us instruction, because this instruction did not come with the kind of drama that we are expecting, you don't consider it to be the voice of God. Oh my goodness. Because this instruction did not come with rain, with breeze should just blow, the curtain should fly, the door should open and close by itself, bow. And you hear the voice of God as in the Old Testament. Or the heaven should open, the dove should descend, and you hear, "This is my beloved son with whom I am well pleased. Hear him." And because the instruction did not come that way, you don't consider it to be the voice of God. And right there is something that has probably started the change of your life. Another truth I want you to know today is that change is noiseless. Believe me, I've not started teaching, and I plan to just take an hour today. But I don't know, whenever I do deep dive, if we don't go into over 3 hours, we don't get to the end of the conversation. All right. So change of value does not necessarily have to be noisy. It doesn't need to come with noise. It can be so quiet. It can be so silent, but there and there, your life has started changing. Your life has started evolving. Your life has started to transform. Yet, very quiet. Yet, very silent. Yet, very unnoticeable. Lying in plain sight. But the change that your life needs has just started. Look at pregnancy for an instance. The day that a woman gets pregnant, do you know that even she herself is not aware? The woman carrying a baby is not aware that she is pregnant the day she gets pregnant. It takes a couple of weeks later before the hormones in her system start reacting. The hormones do not start to react the moment the pregnancy started. All right. The relationship between the sperm cell and the egg cell has started already before our body begins to change. It is that change that now makes her to understand that something is going on. But when that change happened, she did not know. It's noiseless. It's noiseless. The day sickness enters the life of any man, nobody is informed. Name the manner of sickness. Nobody is informed. The same way, sir. Now, hear what I'm about to say. The same way these things are noiseless is the same way ideas that can change your life. I've gone way above myself right now. The same way this change is noiseless. The same way these realities do not make an announcement. The same way they do not consult you, they do not write mail to you that today we are going to come. Is the same way idea that can change your life. Ideas that can make you as great or greater than Mark Zuckerberg can enter into your life and you are not informed. Oh my goodness. The same way you don't appreciate these things, and that is why we need to start from this place. I just hope I'm even able to land within 2 hours with how this conversation is going. But the same way this change happens, the day a man would die, when he wakes up that day, he wakes up like every other day. Yes. He wakes up like every other day. The day the life of any man would change, when he wakes up, like every other day. The day the life of a man would change, sir. When he wakes up like every other day. Nobody is sending him a mail that today 10 million naira is going to hit your account. Nobody is sending you a message that today you are going to hit your biggest breakthrough. That same way it is noiseless. That same way it is silent. That same way it is unnoticeable. Is the same way the idea that can change your life has probably infiltrated your mind, has probably locked up itself in your heart. But because nobody has called you to say an idea is going to visit you today, because it has not gained public validation, you don't believe that idea can change your life. You don't believe that idea can set you free. You don't believe that idea can make you the next Mark Zuckerberg. Why? Because it is not accompanied with drama. Let me show you something. Have you realized that? Most times when you want to make a decision, if that decision does not come with the validation of other people, if it doesn't come with a validation from other people, you don't consider that decision authentic or tangible. You don't take it serious. I will elucidate that in a minute now. I've gone way above myself. I'm trying to follow my script. So I was talking about value lying in plain sight. Yeah. I was talking about value in plain sight. When I'm done with that, I'm coming to this section of seeking validation, and I'll try to show you where that came from, where you got that from. You got it somewhere. Then at some point, if time permits us, at some point, I want to touch on the concept of fear and culture. I hope time permits us. If time does not give us that opportunity, we'll have a part 2 of this episode. But these things are very important things we need to talk about. Okay, ideas lying in plain sight. So it doesn't need to be dramatic to change your life. It doesn't need to come with a lot of thunder and a lot of noise to change your life. Okay, so that is number one. The second thing I want to also realize is this. Let me check my scripts. So another place where real gem or real value lies is in small circle. And I started off with this. It lies in small circle. Okay, I was in a conversation with a very good friend 2 days ago, and she was telling me that, Cletus, that people that are really thriving in this generation, people that are really making it, people that are really getting the money, they are not online screaming. They're not online selling courses. No offense to people selling courses. I sell courses too, but understand what I'm saying. Understand the conversion from the context. They're not online screaming. People that are really making this money you are talking about, they are not online screaming. They are right there doing what they know how to do best. So, how do you find them when they are not online doing? And when I say they're not online, I don't mean they don't have an online presence. Okay. So how do you find them, or how do you find this real value? Is in little circles. Some of us are looking for networking opportunities with hundreds of people, networking opportunities with good number of people. While this is good, right? Don't forget I started by telling you that the larger the platform, the less authentic that information is. All right. So value lies in the midst of small circle. In the midst of small circle, you can just have 3 billionaires or 4 billionaires, and within 4 of them lies conversation that must not break out into the public. Within 4 of them lies conversation that the public must not hear. So those kind of conversations don't come out. It lies in that circle. So one of the fastest way out is to find your way into such a circle. Is to find your way into such circles, into those kinds of network. Find your way, penetrate into them. Penetrate into little circles like that. Because some of us have been deceived by numbers. Some of us have been deceived by caliber. We have been deceived by social media. And we think number validates value. But it's not true. Number does not validate value. Number does not validate value. Ask yourself, if number validates value, how come we still have high rates of poverty? How come? Ask yourself. So number does not validate value. People can be gathered in their numbers and they are not moving a pin. They are not moving anything. They can be having meetings upon meetings upon meetings upon meetings, and nothing is changing. No impact is made, no value is given. Because sometimes we mistake movement, we mistake activity for movement. We mistake the exertion of energy for progress. Movement and progress. We mistake movement for progress. So a man can be moving and yet is not making any progress. I hope you know. You can be in a sport jumping. Look at me, I'm sweating. I'm sweating because of the energy I'm giving out, because of the passion at which I'm communicating. But you would deceive yourself by thinking that because I'm sweating, I'm moving. I'm not moving, I'm seated. But if you judge by my sweat, if you judge by the exertion of my energy, you will confuse movement for progress. I'm moving, I'm gesticulating, I'm nodding my head, my hands are moving, but that's not progress. I've not left here. I'm still seated. So movement is not progress in any way. So there are gatherings of people in their numbers moving an agenda, moving different conversations. But how do you know that there's no progress? 10 years later, they are still in the same position. 5 years later, they are still in the same position. They are still making the same argument. That is why I tell you, young people, be careful the kind of arguments you get into. That's not a conversation for today. Be careful the kind of unions, the kind of associations you get into. It can be they can be moving agendas, they can be moving proposals, they can be moving topics and conversations, but it does not in any way justify that they are making progress. Are you getting value tonight? Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Am I causing you to think? Am I shifting your mind? Because that's the idea of this. Am I shifting your mind tonight? Okay. So that is why deep dive is necessary. Just so you know, I'll spend the last 40 minutes doing what? Explaining the essence of deep dive, explaining the essence of this kind of conversation. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So let's move a step further. Let's move a step further. Whew. So earlier on, I said that when I was done with this, I was going to go into. Hey, I didn't write that down. I didn't write that down. If you remember where I said I was going to enter into, please let me know. I was going to touch something. Oh my goodness. If you remember it, just put it in the comments. Let me know. It's very important. It's very important I touch that tonight before we go into escape. It's very important I touch that tonight. Oh my goodness. Holy Spirit, help me now. That conversion is very, very important. I can't afford to. Validation. God bless you. Thank you. Validation. Now, I'm going to ask questions now. Okay, so just engage in the comment. How many of you have find yourself in situations where you want to do something for yourself? You want to do something for yourself. 2 weeks later, you have not been able to do it. But when you want to do something for someone else, it does not take you 24 hours to get it delivered. If you've experienced this kind of a thing, let me know. If you say, oh, I need to do this, I need to start this business, trust me, I'm guilty. If I'm not guilty, I'm not going to understand how it works. See, I'm going to start this business. This is a great idea. This is a great platform. I'm going to push it out. 2 weeks later, you have not done anything. But if you are an employee, the moment a task comes to your desk, you are jumping on it immediately. But the one you said you are going to do, you have not done it till today. If you've been in such similar scenario, let me know. If you've been in situations like that, let me know. I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one. And I'm driving to validation. You find it hard to do things for yourself. You find it hard to push yourself to the extreme when you are doing something for yourself. You find it more easier to do things for other people. Do you know the amazing thing? Sometimes these things you find hard to do for yourself. When somebody else asks you to do the same thing, get me right, I'm not saying a different thing, the same thing. All of a sudden, the idea, the strategy to carry out that same thing for another person that you could not do for yourself, the strategy finds you. All of you've been clueless, you didn't know how to go about it when it was about you. But the moment it got to the point of doing it for somebody else, you became interested. Your brain started to think, ideas started to come. You begin to receive inspiration. It looks as if the windows of heaven have opened and they are pouring you ideas or blessings of ideas. So what happened? I'll make you understand what happened there. So the truth is, many of us don't have problem working for other people. Now don't think you understand what I am saying. Just follow me. These conversations, a number of them sits on a thread. So if you just pick a part of it and run with it, you miss out, because where you think I'm going is not where I'm going. Just know that. All right. So we don't have a problem doing things for other people. We don't have a problem serving other people. Is it serving or serving, whichever one? But we don't have a problem doing things for other people. But when it comes to yourself, you suddenly become unmotivated. You suddenly lose concentration. Okay? Somewhere in the culture, you have learned to trust and believe in the vision of other people but yourself. Let us think for a minute. Somewhere, somehow, somewhere in your history, something has happened to you that has made you to believe that the ideas of other people are more authentic. The ideas of other people are more genuine than your idea. So the problem is not hard work. The problem is trust in yourself. The problem is trust in your ability. And you cannot trust yourself, or you are finding out to trust yourself because you don't know yourself. You are finding it hard to trust yourself. You are finding it hard to believe in yourself because you don't know yourself. You don't know yourself. You think you do, but you don't know yourself. You don't. Many of you have never met yourself. Many of you have never really. How many of you have taken out time to sit down and analyze yourself? How many of you have done SWOT analysis on yourself? You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know your opportunities, you know your threats. You think you do because the media has given you a picture. The media has given you a picture of someone or something that looks like you. The media has given you a similitude of someone or something that looks like you, and you think that that person is you. The media has constructed an avatar for you, and you think that that avatar is you. But I bring you good news today. That avatar is not you. Whatever the media has painted for you, whatever ideology you have gotten from media, you have gotten from the thoughts of other people concerning you, you have been deceived to think that that person is you. Sir, man, that person is not you. You have not met yourself. You have not met yourself. You don't know yourself. Oh, you don't know yourself. You have not found yourself. You have been deceived by the picture that has been created for you by different people. And when I say different people, I'm not talking about an individual. I'm talking about systems. I'm talking about the academic system. I'm talking about the religious system. I'm talking about your background, your upbringing, the community and the society where you were raised. Whoosh. Woo. Are we here? Ouch. Am I helping you tonight? Am I helping you tonight? So check the definition of the person you call yourself. Check the definition of the person you call Mercy. The definition of the person you call John. The definition of the person you call Cletus. Is that person really you? Is that person really you? That person that is so afraid to come out to the public, is that person really you? That person that is seeking public validation before anything can be done, is that really you? Are you sure that is you? No, that cannot be you. That cannot be you. You are more than that. You are bigger than that. Trust me, this is no motivation. This is no motivation in any way. You are bigger than the person that the society has constructed for you. And you picked, oh my goodness. Do you know the amazing thing? When you are about to pick yourself, when you're about to pick the image of yourself, do you know what you pick? You don't pick the real you from the public. What you pick is subject to the level of knowledge, the level of exposure that is available to you. What you pick as yourself, you are picking that choice from the number of options that you have. We're talking about the way out. We're talking about the way out. Trust me, we can't finish this conversation today. We'll have a part 2 of this, but let's go on. Let's go on. How many of us are still here? How many of us are still here? The person you think you are is an image that you probably picked from the available options. And the options that you have is determined by the constructs, what religion, what culture, what tradition, what the academic system has constructed for you. And when you are picking, you can't pick the real you from the public. You can't pick the real you from the validation of other people. You can't pick the real you from what every other person thinks. You can't pick the real you from what people are saying about you. Because people are going to define you based on the perspective, based on the parts of you that they've experienced. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody has the ability to define your being. Nobody but you. Nobody but you can define the real essence of your being. People can only make options available to you. People can only make options available to you. People can only tell you what they think. People can only tell you based on the parts of you that they have experienced. But sir and ma, nobody has the microscope to look through you and paint a picture of yourself. Even you, it takes a level of exposure to define yourself. It takes a level of knowledge for you to be able to meet yourself. Because the things that you call your fear are not actually your fear. The things that you think you are afraid of are not, naturally, you are not designed to be afraid of them. Naturally, you are not designed to fear those things. I saw a documentary that gave a conclusion that fear is a learned behavior. Fear is a learned behavior. You learned your fears. You learned your fears. What do you think you are afraid of? You learned it. You learned it from someone. You learned it from somewhere. You learned it from your upbringing. You learned it from the system, the academic system you went through. You learned it from what people have said about you. What is it you are afraid of? Name it. You learned it somehow, somewhere in your journey. You learned it somewhere, somehow in your journey, because you were not born with any kind of fear. You came to this earth, and the moment you were born into the hands of mortals begin to define your fear. The moment you were born to mortals begin to define your fear. Mortals begin to define your being. Mortals begin to define your essence. They begin to make choices for you. And based on those choices, you have grown up to become an adult. Based on those choices, you have grown up to become who you are today. Okay? Now, the quality of person you will turn out to be is as a product of the choices that these mortals have made over you. Is a product of the quality of decisions that these mortals have made over you. And some people have grown to believe that the decision that have been made by these mortals is their sole they've used those decisions to build a blueprint for their lives. They've used those decisions to build a blueprint for their lives. But that is not the real being that was sent from God to the earth. And this is why purpose discovery is very important, even though I'm not going to that today. We might have to take that in the part 2 of this class. We might have to take that in the part 2 of this class. That is why purpose discovery is what is very, very important. Because many of the things that you probably considered a purpose are products of the decisions, products of the environment where you find yourself, products of the information that is available at your disposal. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do I have living souls on this stream right now? Do I have living souls on this stream? Is the eyes of someone opening on this live stream tonight? Am I helping somebody tonight? Am I helping somebody tonight? So you have defined yourself. You have defined your essence. You have defined your being. You have defined your reality by what people think. Last deep dive, I gave us a story. I gave us a story of a young child. Okay, I gave a story of a young child who wanted to become an herbalist, who all he was dreaming of, all he could dream of at that point in time was to become an herbalist. And you will not blame him. Why? Because from the society where he grew up, being an herbalist is part of the options provided for him. They are part of the things that is expected to be. They are part of the things that people crave to be. Does that interpret to you that your level of exposure and the level of knowledge available to you can determine how high you will get in life? I feel like praying in tongues right now. Does that suggest to you that the level of exposure and the level of knowledge at your disposal determines the height you will get to in life? Does it suggest to you that these two factors can make you get to the highest level possible or leave you at the bottom? I'm not seeing comments. What's happening? Am I the only one here? Does that suggest to you that does that suggest to you that these two parameters can determine how high you will get in life, or how low or how useless the life of a man will be? Oh, are we here? Are we here? Are we here? The comment section is too dry. It's too dry. Are we here? So, because you don't know yourself, because you've not met yourself, because the system, and I'll explain this in a sec, because the system has made you to believe that other people, the ideas of other people, is more valid than your idea. You don't run after your ideas. You don't live your life. You live the life of other people. You live the life of other people. You live the life of other people. Now, look at it. The academic system that all of us went through, including myself, you have to write exams. I want to show you where that ideology or that belief, how that thing penetrated into your space. You went to school, right? And your teachers in school, the teachers are the one to validate when you are right or wrong. Get me? There's nothing wrong with this concept. I'm just trying to make you see a perspective not considered, right? The teachers are the one that determine when you are right or wrong. There are even in some instances where an idea will visit you at your tender age. When you communicate, because this idea is not appealing to the ears or to the sight of the teacher, the teacher being a guardian, the teacher being parents, name it, all right? Anyone that is at that upper echelon playing the role of a teacher over you, because the idea is not appealing to them, they talk you out of it and they say, no, leave it. When you fail, the teacher is the one that determines if you failed or passed. So because of things like this, your mind has received a construct that other people have to validate what comes to you before you can consider it as authentic. Other people have to validate what comes to you. They have to validate the genuity and the power behind the things that are coming to you before you will take it serious. That is why you see that when something very little happens in your life, maybe you make a little breakthrough, the next thing you are doing is you are running to social media to post it. You are running online to post. You are calling the next person. One of my mentees was talking to me many months ago, and she was saying, "Oh, mentors, something just happened, and I don't think I want to share it with you right now." Usually in my days of foolishness, I would press you until you share it. No, I don't do that anymore. Rather, what I told her, I said, keep it until you don't have a reason to share it anymore. Keep it within you. Be sure that the reason why you want to share it is not so that I will give you congratulations. It's not so that I will clap for you. It's not so that I will think that you are doing well. Because the reason why some of us share information that are unnecessary to the general public is because you want people to think that, oh, I'm actually doing something in my life too. You want people to think that, yeah, I'm not all dull. I'm not as dull as you think. I'm not a fugitive. Because you think that you are actually small. You think that nothing is happening in your life. And because that is what you think, you need validation from other people. You need validation from other people. You need celebrations. You need congratulations from other people before you can celebrate yourself. They say, oh, it's a human makeup. No, it's not a human makeup, sir. It is not. It's not a human makeup. You need congratulations. Ask yourself, why do you crave congratulations so much? Why? Ask yourself. Why don't you think your life is moving until somebody tells you that your life is moving? Why don't you believe that you are making progress until somebody calls you and says you are making progress? Why? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. Why do you rush out to communicate things that doesn't even it doesn't concern the people? The people you are sharing this progress, it does not concern them in any way. But why are you telling them? You are telling them so that they are going to congratulate you, because your body, your mind needs that, oh, you are doing well, for you to keep going. The construct of your mind. So the danger of this, as good as it has its own good side, the danger of it is this: when you don't know how to manage situations like this early enough, you will limit your growth. You will self-question yourself. You will doubt the originality of your idea. You will doubt the authenticity of what God is doing in your life. You will give human beings more power than they deserve. You will give human beings more power than they deserve. You will give them more information than they should know. That is why you see people come out on the social media to talk about things that nobody is interested in. Nobody's interested in those things. But what's their problem? They are seeking validation. They are seeking validation. Many people have sold ideas. They've sold $1 million ideas. They've because of validation, they have given out the gifts in form of ideas, in form of strategy that God gave to them. I said something, I put this on my WhatsApp status, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. If everything that comes to you is everything that you say, then you are a child. You need to grow up. If everything that comes to you is what you rush to communicate, is what you rush to tell the world, then I'm sorry, you are still a child. And the more you do that, the more you water down your power. The more you give people power to judge you, power to criticize you. That is how whatsoever I want to do, I just go all out and put it out there. If it will fail, let it fail. If deep dive will not work, let it not work. But I'm not going to lock myself in the jail of either it will work or it will not work. I'm not going to reduce myself, reduce my mind, reduce my power in the name of, I don't know what the public would think, I don't know what the people would think. I'll put it out there nonetheless. If it will fail, let it fail. I'll try again. Now, what I just described for you is the mindset for escape. Is their mindset for escape. Let me see if I can push this to 8 o'clock. What I just described for you right there is their mindset to escape. Is their way to break out. Is their way to break free. Is the way to take the power you have given to people. Is the way to take charge of your life. Is the way to make decisions nonetheless, either it will fail or it will win. Is the way to take charge of your business, either it will fail or it will win. Either it will fail or it will succeed. Is the way to keep going despite criticism, despite what the people think. Is the way to receive the idea that God has given you and run with it, no matter whatsoever the outcome is. And you know the funny thing? The more you do this, the more power you give to yourself. The more you do this, the more you do things for yourself, the more you believe in yourself, the more you don't question your ability, the more you don't question your originality. The more you don't question your originality, the more you don't question, you don't doubt the validity of your thoughts. Oof. So, how do you break free? The first key, which is the only key I'm going to share on this call today, is this. How do you find yourself? How do you escape? What's the first route to escape? The first route to escape, in my own opinion, you start by finding yourself. Because if you don't find yourself, you can't believe in yourself. If you don't find yourself, you can't trust yourself. The reason why you're finding it difficult to trust yourself is because you have not made any investment in discovering the power within you. You have not made any investment in discovering the power within you. The decisions and the choices you have made over time is a product of what people think, is a product of what people believe, is a product of how people see you, is a product of what has been communicated out there. Is a product of what has been communicated out there. So people have defined you. People have defined your essence. People have defined your being. So can you debunk everything that every other person thinks about you and find yourself? Can you debunk every other thing that the world thinks about you and find yourself? If you are not able to do this, then you are going to live in doubt for many years. There are many people that wake up after years over years, only to realize that they've been living the life of somebody else. Only to realize that the decisions they've made over time is not theirs. It's not theirs. They've been making decisions from the construct of other, from the definition of other people. All right. So let me see if I can take questions. If I can take questions, I don't want this to span beyond 8 p.m. Okay. So if you have questions, you can use the comments. If you have questions, you can use the comments while I continue this analysis. I did a study and I've come to realize that the people that rule the world that you and I live in, the people that rule the world are the people who are able to despite who are able to find themselves and go all out to embrace their person. There are people who are audacious enough to do what other people find difficult or what other people are not able to do. And I'm going to end on this note. One of the greatest skill I think every youth today should have is audacity. A friend was talking to me sometime last month. She was asking me some questions about a particular location, a particular state. And all of a sudden she said, I want to relocate from this state. I want to move into another state. And for the first time in my whole life, sir, I saw a level of audacity that I don't have. For the first time in my life, I saw someone wake up to make a decision that I see as the highest level of audacity so far. Now, I'm not talking about people that are hypnotized by this Jackpot syndrome. No. I'm talking about someone that analyzes his life or her life and sees that this particular thing or this particular space or this particular community or this particular space cannot get me the results I'm looking for. I'm going to change location. And I'm going to move to a new place and start all over again. As simple as this concept seems, this is one of the escape routes that you need to know. This is one of the ways to break free and break free forever. This is one of the ways to challenge yourself. This is one of the ways to challenge yourself and go all out and do something tangible with your life. Because you need to understand that time is not waiting. You need to understand that what you fail to do today, by tomorrow it will not get done. Instead, tomorrow it will be there and more things will keep on piling up. Some of us have great ideas. Some of us have great strategies, great things that we want to put out there. But we lack the audacity. We are not audacious enough. The systems we have broken out from have created a level of mediocrity in our mind. And because of that, we don't. You see why I said you need to know yourself. You need to know yourself. You need to gain clarity about who you are. You need to gain clarity about your person. You need to understand the essence of you. You need to understand your power. Because if you don't understand your power, you will continue to give it out cheaply. Oh my goodness. If you don't know the power that is resident in you, you will continue to sell yourself for a peanut. You are not going to place value on yourself. And you know the amazing thing, if you don't place value on yourself, no one is going to do that for you. If you see yourself as a piece of trash, everybody will see you the same way. If you see yourself as someone that is unworthy, every other person will see you the same way. So it begins where? Begins with you. That is why I say that clarity is the beginning of your journey to escape. Man, know thyself. Man, know thyself. Spend time. Find yourself. Spend time. Understand yourself. Spend time. Know your power. Know the power that is with you. Know the skill that you have. And know the value that you have brought to the world to offer to the world. All right? So in summary, let me begin to end this right now. In summary, you need to understand that the success that you need or the progress you are praying for is at the other side of your level of audacity. The success that you are looking for, the financial breakthrough you are looking for, is where? It is at the other side of your audacity. If you are not audacious enough, to break free, if you are not audacious enough to change the trajectory of your life, until you wake up and say that this life, I am not pleased with how these things are turning out for me, I want to cause a change. Until you can wake up with such level of audacity, you are not going to see any change. You're not going to see any change. There's a law of physics that says that an object will continue to remain at a state of rest except an external force is applied. And you cannot apply that external force except you know yourself, except you debunk what people have told you that you are, and find yourself, and know yourself, and know your strengths, and know your weakness, and know your threats and your opportunities, and know your power. When you know your power, when you know the power within you, you will value yourself more, you will respect yourself more. You will even charge more for the value that you bring. You will charge more for the value that you bring. So I don't want to go, but at this point I have to go. All right. So this is what I've decided to do. I want to add a bit of consistent energy to deep dive, and I want to grow deep dive as a community. Okay. So I don't know how often we can do this. How often do you think we should do this? Let me know in the comments. How often do you think we should do this? I can't afford to do it on a weekly basis, in as much as I want to. Now that I want, because these conversations are not things I can debunk in one day. The last deep dive we spent over 3 hours, and this is already spanning into 2 hours, and I don't want to give you so much on one day. So I'll see how consistent we can be with this. Maybe we'll do it monthly. I'll check my schedule well, and I will let you know. I'll communicate to everyone. So if you have been with me until this point, let me have your feedback in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the session. Let me know what you've learned. If you have any contribution, if you have any comments, drop them in the comment section. All right, drop them in the comment section. And okay, monthly is fine. Okay, well, I'll check if we can afford to do this monthly. Next session, I want to, still talking about the way out, I want to bring us to understanding the place of consumer versus the place of a creator. They are both C's, the two C's that makes a difference. The consumer and the creator, they are the two C's that makes a difference. And either you like it or not, you belong to one part of that equation. You are either a consumer or you are a creator. We'll look at the economy of a consumer. We'll look at the ecosystem rather. We'll look at the ecosystem of a consumer. We'll look at the ecosystem of a creator. We'll look at these two ecosystems, and you will make your choice. You make your choice where you want to be. Okay. So guys, thank you so much. If you have endured If you have endured my session until this time, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I believe that it has been value filled. You have been able to learn one thing or the other from everything I have shared with you today. So until we meet again for another edition of Deep Dive, my name remains Dumbri Cletus, and it's always a pleasure to bring you these sessions. Thank you and have a great evening. Don't forget to share your thoughts. Share your thoughts in the comments. Share what you've learned in the comments, and I'll see you again.